Hello.
Hi.
How are you? You gotta look at the camera.
Oh, I was looking at you.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Understandable. Well, welcome back to another Stream Thursday with Snake Pass and Sumo Digital. I am David Dino. I am a designer and snake charmer slash PR analyst. So many different things here. But what I do is I host the stream and I do a lot of stuff with the game, obviously. And here with me today is Dan.
Hi.
Who is one of the programmers and actually a lot more than that here.
Not just a
Sumo
programmer,
Digital.
not
You
just
are
a regular programmer.
No,
anyway.
you are pinnacle of programming.
Thank you very much.
That's what I like to.
That's an excellent introduction.
Yeah, indeed. So yes, this is Dan, and the reason why we brought Dan along is because.
So I'm also looking after our India programmers.
Okay.
So we have a team of guys over in our India studio in Pune, and they are helping us on Snake Pass.
Where is Pune in India?
So it's about three and a half hours away from Mumbai.
Okay.
It's a long car journey.
That sounds like a long drive.
It is. You get to see a lot of interesting things on your journey. Totally different from Sheffield.
I remember watching, I think it was ice road truckers in India, and just them driving.
They actually have ice in India.
Apparently, well,
Right,
some
okay.
parts, yeah, but it was kind of like that's a very wild ride.
Northern India.
Yes.
That would be Northern India.
Yeah, definitely northern.
There's
India.
certainly no ice where we're going.
Fair enough. And that's on Snake Pass as well, from
Yeah.
what I understand. Yes, so we brought Dan along to help us
Thank
out. He actually went to India, our Sumo India, last week.
I was over there last week, yeah. I
Yeah.
was working with the guys last week, so
Mm-hmm.
managed to get some good footage for you to show today.
Yeah.
Good feedback from the guys. There's a buzz over there about
Excellent.
Snake, and it's good. It's exciting to see them working on it. It's very interesting.
Cool, excellent. And we actually brought Snake Pass to an event called NASCOM over there.
We did.
Last year, yes.
We did, and actually one of our programmers was over there hosting it. He was chatting to some of the people, got
Yeah.
to meet them, hands-on experience, let people play. I think that's exciting.
That's awesome.
All positive feedback. Interestingly, a lot of them compared it to the old Nokia Snake.
A lot of people actually do that initially as well because they think, oh, is this some like 3D version
Yep.
of the old Nokia Snake? And she's kind of like, no, it doesn't grow.
There's a new version.
Yeah.
There's the sliver on the iPhone.
Oh, that's
now.
right, yeah.
Yeah. They compare it to that, and they were sort of expecting to see something similar to that.
No.
It's a little bit different. It's
Just
a little bit
a
different
tad,
to the
just a
Nokia
tad.
version.
Yeah.
Certainly. You don't have to use your numpads to.
Yeah, exactly. And for everybody who has on the chat who has watched the game before as well, who has played the game indeed, knows that Snake Pass is a very completely different thing on its own. It is a 3D puzzle platformer where you don't jump. You are Noodle the Snake with his buddy Doodle, and you guys have to travel throughout Snake Pass to figure out why the gems are disappearing, and you gotta like restore power to the world and everything like that. It's fun. It harkens back a lot of the old school 3D platformers like Banjo-Kazooie, Spyro, the whole nine. And there was definitely a huge inspiration into building all these things. And of course, you can watch our older streams where we talk about that kind of stuff on our Twitch, which you guys are clearly on, or also on our YouTube, which is /SnakePassGame. So, we were talking about videos. You took a lot of recordings over there.
We did, we did.
Were they all programmers that you interviewed?
They were all programmers. So there's a team of 3 guys over there, all programming, all doing current features. So, so it's probably good to emphasise the Indian guys aren't just handed off bugs. It's not just a studio where we get the boring tasks and just send them over. They're working on current features in the game. They're building things. They're developing actually for Snake Pass. So it's not just a hand-off studio where we're giving them boring things. And that's what keeps them interesting. They've totally got stuck into this and literally buzzing about the game.
That's awesome.
I know Ganesh went over to, who we'll meet in a bit.
Right, yeah.
He was over at NASCOM. He actually got to hand the controller over to people, let them play stuff. His feedback is just immense. Like everybody was saying how good they think it's going to be.
That's awesome.
And that's really good feedback. And certainly, I think when you've created that buzz within the team, and the guys who are working on it are like that, and we'll come to. There's quite a unique story about one of the guys.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's introduced, and he tells you a little bit about that. I can go into some more detail, but it's that kind of stuff that makes these people talented. And it's that kind of passion that you bring.
And you see it in the game, actually.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, well,
you literally see it.
You actually see it every time you play it.
Yeah, we'll get to that point very quickly, or further on the line. But let's go ahead and say hi to everybody on the chat. Hello, Barrio. Hello, Warrior. Hello, Mythigar. Thank
Hello.
you for coming along. And also, thank you to everybody that's watching on Unreal Engine as well. We appreciate all the viewers. You guys are awesome. If you have any questions about the game, please feel free to ask, comments, the whole nine. If you want to, just talk about the shine on our heads, really.
Well, there's a lot of shine today.
Yeah.
We've pretty much buffed the heads for this.
It's like double.
Yeah.
Yeah, double radius
We
going
could
on
get the
over here.
makeup team in.
Indeed. Oh, yeah, next
We
time.
asked
next
for
time.
them.
Yeah, Rebecca back there, she actually did say she had some powder to help us
Yeah.
out. But so if you guys are, experiencing too much brightness from the screen, it's not your screen itself. It's
Yeah,
the-
we
the-
would
the
certainly
double
look
power,
better in an
yeah.
HDR monitor.
Yeah,
And probably dull our heads down, but
Fair enough. And hello to Verge of Apathy as well for jumping on the chat. Thank you. So, if you don't mind, James, well, we can go ahead and start with the first video. I believe this is Ganesh, who is a programmer.
he comes to the studio with a little bit more experience than some of the other programmers. Let's roll the video.
Yeah.
We'll let him introduce himself.
There we go.
I'm Ganesh. I work as a programmer with Sumo India at Pune, and Snake is my first project with Sumo. Prior to this, I worked on mobile titles like Insane Eagles and Fast Lane Tractor. This is also my first project using Unreal Engine.
How long have you been at Sumo then, Ganesh?
Just over a year, 18 months to be exact.
And how long have you been working on Snake?
Past 6 months.
Excellent. So tell us about what you do day to day.
Right now it is bug fixing, and basically whatever the QAs report back to us, we fix them. And prior to this, my work on Snake involved doing a level streaming system. And then I did some work with the platform-specific resources as well, primarily icons. And then there was some optimization task relating to getting the blueprint stuff moved to native site.
Excellent. So is this your first Unreal project?
Yes, it is.
And what engines have you used before?
I have used Unity before.
Okay. So how does it compare to Unity?
Yeah, it is better in some ways, and for the kind of performance that consoles demand, I find it better.
So how have you found it working with Snake Pass then?
Yeah, the first impression when I saw Snake, the prototype for Snake, two things stood out. First was the visuals, because it is an interesting mix where the main character is a goofy looking cartoonish kind of snake. The ruins are realistic, so there are realistic objects in the level, and the realms, the layout of the realms is very fantastic looking layout. It feels straight out of a sci-fi movie at times.
Wow.
So the
That's
visuals,
pretty impressive.
Yeah, and the lighting is also really nice. It varies from realm to realm, so you have a different feel to the lighting when it comes to fire, when it comes to water, or when it comes to earth.
Tell us about some of the problems you faced working with Snake.
The level streaming task was the first one that I did, one of the big tasks that I did. So what happened was the initial setup, each of the realm and each of the level was a level containing sub-levels. So what we had to do was design a system wherein we can just stream out the required level. So it was more of a design problem than an implementation problem. So once we figured out that we could just get the required sub-levels in the memory and then present it to the player, it was easy after that.
Is this game pretty different to anything you've worked on before?
Yes, it is, because all my previous titles, they were either first-person shooters or racing games. So a physics-based puzzle game where you can also explore things. It is very different.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'll let you get back to your work.
Are we back? We are back.
I think we're
Hello,
back.
everybody. So, apologies for that. It was a little bit quiet, but James, I believe, worked it out in the end. So yeah, that was Ganesh.
That was Ganesh, yeah.
So what does he do specifically for people who might have missed out? What is he working on specifically on Snake Pass, if you remember?
So Ganesh has lots and lots of different areas he's been working on.
Okay.
One of the main things, so Ganesh has been on the project for about 6 months.
Okay.
Now. So he was one of our first Indian programs that we put on this. One of the first things we got him to look at was the performance of the snake.
Right.
So we've got to get frame rate up.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to increase frame rate. Everything was running in blueprints, which anyone who's worked with Unreal, absolutely amazing blueprints, but can be slow.
Yes.
Putting things in native C++, always going to be faster. So Ganesh had no real experience working with Unreal, so
Yeah,
we'd
I
put
believe
him
you
on
mentioned that, yeah.
we'd put him on a training course before, and we had started developing his skills and mentored him with Unreal.
Is that when they came over here?
That was when they came over here.
That was that.
Yeah. So that was one of the things we got them to do. So we always try with the guys to sort of look ahead at projects that we've got coming up, and we try and train them in areas that we think they're going to at least give them skills in an area that there's going to be useful. And Unreal was one of those that we got him looking at.
Yeah.
So anyway, he started taking the blueprint, looking at the blueprint, and working out how we could convert the blueprint all into native C++. Now there was a lot. There was a lot of the snake was in blueprints.
Yeah.
So he then decided to convert that. He actually used one of the other programmers as well. So he kind of was working at the forefront, checking back with Sebastian the whole way through this, because if things have been built in Blueprint, one of the worst things you can do is convert them, and then you totally change something just by getting a variable in the wrong place or connecting one of the strings to the wrong area, and you've totally changed the way the C++ is working that the Blueprint was. So he had to work quite extensively with Sebastian to go backwards and forwards. So it was an iterative process here to get the snake to handle in exactly the same way and play in exactly the same way as how the Blueprint had been set up. A couple of weeks' work really went into that.
Because they showed us the Blueprint on the last stream. And
So have you actually shown the Blueprint before?
It was spaghetti. I mean, it's a lot better now, and there are still things that are actually being converted to C++.
As we speak.
Yes.
Still some things, there's still some work going on with that. Ganesh is still heavily involved in that. He's now our kind of go-to guy.
Yeah.
We passed him off. He knocks them out so quickly. He's reliable. He's efficient. He's brilliant. He's spot on at what he does. So we leave that to him. He'll go away. He'll get Seb to look at it.
Yeah.
Check it. I mean, I think he went through and there was 100 and something functions he converted.
Wow.
All into C++.
There were loads of functions.
And I think we came back with 2 tiny little errors. There was one where the wind wasn't affecting.
Yeah.
Snake
That's
just
it.
as we wanted. I mean, out of all that number, I couldn't have been more pleased.
That's pretty
Makes
amazing.
my job really easy.
So what? Obviously, being a liaison between here and Sumo India, and you have a clear programming background as well.
Yep.
So what is your day-to-day task in terms of making sure Ganesh, I guess gets the right information, instructions, and vice versa?
Sure. So yeah, like you said, my background is all programming. 17 previous years, numerous titles, mainly gameplay, mainly AI. I'm diversifying now. I'm seeing this as a sort of a managerial role, looking after the guys there. What I do on a daily basis is communication.
Right.
So,
which is important for every project, really.
Totally. It's totally. We have a studio that's several thousand miles away, and my role is to make the guys working in India feel like they're working here, and the team working here feel like that they're actually sat next to the guys over in India. So we talk about communication as the fundamental thing. That's what I do day to day. My morning usually starts, I arrange the snake scrums. So I go over, I round up all the coders from the UK team, but that's not just UK Sheffield. We have programmers in Nottingham. So it's important to put them in the morning scrum as well. So for those who don't know, a scrum is a morning meeting. Very short meeting. We sit, we talk about what we did yesterday, what we're going to do today, and whether we're blocked on any of our tasks.
Okay, and this is regardless of project, or
this is regardless of project.
Okay, cool.
So it's following like an agile project management method. It's a morning get together. Think of it as just a chat in a room. We all sit together.
Right.
We have a chat over coffee about what we did yesterday, except we don't have coffee.
Yeah, fair enough.
unfortunately, or donuts.
We need to make that happen, actually.
That would always make the scrums better and make
Okay.
everybody want to go to a
Okay,
scrum.
so
if we had
for
donuts.
those of you in power who can make this
Make
happen in
donuts
terms of
happen,
donuts
that would
happen,
be
make donuts happen
awesome.
for the programmers. They do a great job. They do a hard job. They convert things, you know. They make
We
things
invent
work.
things.
Yeah, you invent things, the whole nine. So beyond
So-
coffee and donuts, yeah.
Beyond coffee and donuts, getting back on track. So we get together. We tend to use Skype. It gives a camera view. They can see what's happening.
Okay, so everybody's
we all sit
seeing-
around
okay.
a table.
Cool.
We have our Nottingham studio and we have our India studio,
Okay.
and they're all on the call. So,
Really,
yeah,
considering the time difference and everything, it's not that big of a time difference.
it's 5.5 hours.
That's
India
not too bad
5.5
then, yeah.
hours ahead, which is fine. So it's their evening, sort of
Right.
early evening for them.
Mhm.
They jump on the call. They talk about what they've done yesterday, what they're doing today, any
Right.
blockers, and it's also a time that all the programmers can listen in on what everyone else is working on. So, for example, Ganesh may have been working on something that's actually, another programmer's been looking at something similar, and he can pass on some information.
Okay.
And straight away, it's a 15-minute morning chat where we communicate effectively and inform other people of
Right.
what we're working on. That allows the guys in India. You sit, last week I sat watching over their shoulders. They pop a headset on and they can see into our office, as can the guys in Nottingham. And so suddenly they now feel that 4,500 miles, or however many miles it is a little bit closer.
Right. There's also, like you said, a shared knowledge base as well. If
It's a
somebody
shared knowledge base.
does have some way of informing about a problem they might have.
Yeah. And having 3 studios there, you can think of them as 3 remote studios that
Mhm.
are all working together on one project.
Yeah.
That communication is so important.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's probably the first thing that you do. You work with these guys on that. Then of course there's you've got the mentoring side of things.
Yeah.
So you're discussing with the code leads here sort of roles that they would fit into. Our leads, have pretty much worked out what they're good at, but it's down to me to say, look, this guy would be better suited to that role.
Right.
Let's drop him in there. Let's look at that. Let's reassign in some tasks onto him, and trying to find the best fit, knowing their skill set, how we can get them to work best on the project. After that, usually I have a couple of calls with the guys. So again, Skype, just on my headset, a one-to-one call, to chat any problems that are going on, and then. We have a couple of other procedures in place, so to keep our workflow, when they come to have some work that needs to be submitted, what we look to do is we do code reviews.
Yeah.
So code reviews will be completed either by myself or one of the other leads on the project. Code review, we use a really simple online tool called Swarm.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. You submit to Swarm, all the information pops up, and we can make comments, and then we pass them back. And the idea is we're constantly evolving their code, trying to keep them to a coding standard, and ultimately it's a learning process because it's not just about coding standards for the India studio, it's coding standards for the UK studio as well. So making sure everyone's aligned and on the same page. We review their stuff. Again, we can use Skype. The thing with Unreal is that makes things slightly more complicated. If everything was C++, the code reviews would be dead simple.
Right.
And Swarm is such a good tool for that. You can pop up Swarm, review everything, but a lot of changes are blueprint. So when you come to looking at
I was about to
blueprint,
say how that fixed or
and things
complicated
start
things.
to become a little bit more difficult. But we've got a pretty good procedure in place now,
Okay.
where we just look at a screen share. So what happens is I'll dial through to Ganesh. He'll talk me through the changes. I've tried various ways before, not all successful. I found the best way is if you want to understand someone's blueprint, let them explain it to you. Screen share, a call with Ganesh. He talks me through his changes, why he's done something. I then try and understand his logic, his mythology, why he's gone down that road. He shows me the blueprint, shows me what's connected up. I can give him the thumbs up at that point,
Excellent.
or I can make suggestions to him. And then once that's happened, we can submit the code
Awesome.
and the blueprints.
Excellent. And for people who are, I guess, striving or are in indie studios and working remotely with other people, like individuals, that's clearly a best practice in a way of making sure that
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm sure there's probably other practices out there, but
Yeah.
for me, it's working, and I like it. And working with Unreal, you need that level of connection. As a programmer, over my years of experience, I always find if you're unsure of something, you have to go and talk to somebody.
Right.
Now, the guys in India, one of the things they miss out on is they miss out on the ability to just pop over and just tap one of the designers on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And just sort of say, I don't totally get this specification you've given me. You're missing something here. I can't totally follow what you want. They can always do that with Skype. They can call them. We have headsets. But the other thing is they give me a call, and that's my role. I will go and make sure that they understand the specification. So I'll go and sit with the designers and try and understand the feature that they want to implement, and I'll work through that with them, and then I'll communicate that back to the programmers.
Excellent, excellent. So obviously, communication is the key, really more
It
than
is,
anything
yeah.
else. I always try to find someone to talk to in that regard.
Yeah.
For me, like whenever I do like SQL stuff with telemetry, I just look at Stack Overflow and be like, please help me.
Yeah,
out, guys. But,
programming via Stack Overflow
Yeah.
is not always the best.
No, it's not.
It's not a good standard to set.
No. But I think I'm
But-
the only one doing it here.
That's fine.
Yeah, but clearly it's good to know that you do have those practices, and clearly in the actual game itself, it does show that.
I think so. I hope so. I mean, if I can make them feel like they're part of the same, they're sat actually with the code team, and that goes for all studios.
Yeah.
I think we've got a win there.
Excellent.
I think we've achieved what we want to achieve, and so far, we're always evolving and we're always improving. But so far, these guys are, seem to be really enjoying it, and
It looks like they're on point, to be fair, as well, in regards to what they have to do.
totally.
Speaking of the programmers, we'll go on to the next one. I believe that was Krishna.
Oh, okay,
Correct?
Krishna's
So,
second. Yeah.
Yes, if you don't mind, go ahead and playing that.
We're rolling. We are now rolling. So just sit and smile. That'd be really cool. So come on then, introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm Krishna.
Okay.
Working with the Sumo Digital over the year, and before Sumo Digital, I'm working in mobile gaming.
Mobile gaming. Oh, this is very different for you then.
Yeah, it's actually in mobile gaming we have limited space, limited memory, so there is a lots of difference in PC gaming, console gaming, and mobile gaming. So yeah. that's-
Okay, cool. So what's your favourite thing about the game?
So basically, this snake game means when I first time saw a snake, so I remember those old days. Means we have snake game in the mobile. So
Oh, I think everyone
it is-
remembers the original Snake.
yeah, so it is very famous in India. I don't know about outside, but in India, people mostly played that game. So it's nice.
So what are you working on at the moment on Snake?
So right now I'm working on the UI thing. So there is a speech bubble in the game. So means each character when they are speaking, so different speech bubble is shown on the screen. So I'm working on that thing.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Krishna. I'll let you get back to your work.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cool. So that was Krishna.
That was Krishna.
Another programmer at Sumo India
yeah.
who's working specifically on Snake Pass. Now, for those of you who may have missed out what he was talking about, what was he? I mean, what does he do specifically?
So Krishna's role again is similar to Ganesh's. Krishna comes from a slightly different background. He has a different skill set to Ganesh.
Mobile gaming, I believe, right? Is that what they said?
He's done a lot of mobile gaming,
Yeah.
totally different. He has to think a lot more about footprint sizes and so on.
Okay.
A mobile game is very different to something like Snake. So this
Yeah.
is all new to him.
He has a lot more capacity to work with. I believe that's what he said in the video before.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
and for him, this is great because this is such a much bigger time. And,
Right.
He's really enjoying it. Thrown up a lot of different challenges for him. So we've set him off. We've got him looking at some of the UI work. For example, popping up some different boxes. He kind of fitted with what he did before,
Right.
and he's enjoyed that, and he's taken that on. He's looked at some of the localization stuff
Oh,
as
cool.
well. So, yeah, he seems to be enjoying it.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And how long has he been with the company? I don't remember if we talked about that on.
I don't think he mentions it in the video.
Yeah.
So he's been with the company about a year now.
Okay.
So again, he's been on a similar training course. He's been over to the UK.
Right.
We've trained him up over here. We've got him working with Unreal and some of the previous projects we worked on. He's had a little look at Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was over on
remember
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was working back with you then.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure he did some stuff with
It's
you.
been ages.
Then we got him looking at Unreal, and then he just seemed an ideal fit
Yeah.
for Snake. He's the one who always talks about Snake on the old Nokia.
Yeah, that's right.
He seems to love that.
He says it resonates in India, or it would resonate in India pretty well, just because everybody actually really loved the Snake game.
He did promise me that he would take me outside and show me a real snake, but well, it never actually happened.
You got to hold him to that next time.
I think so. Yeah, I was a bit nervous that it might be a viper or something, or a cobra. But there's no cobras in this game. We should point out.
Yes,
there's
exactly.
no vipers or poisonous
Yes.
snakes.
So
in this game.
Noodle is actually toothless,
He is.
or he has fangless, I believe.
I think it's fangless.
I think it's fangless. Yes,
They have
and a vegetarian as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should point that out.
Yes, I just want to make sure no animals were harmed in the making of this too. So.
So some of the other things that Krishna's been looking at, we've got him doing some of the compliance testing, some
Okay.
of the technical requirements that are
Right.
needed. So
That's
if you-
important before you actually release a game. Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Yes.
So some of the things you need to think about is how you handle saving the game, what happens if you disconnect a controller,
Right.
if you're signed in and you sign back out, just handling all things like that, what you pop
Yeah.
up on the screen, what you show. It's all part of
Fundamentals really for every game that
Yeah.
needs to be released.
yeah, and it's all forms, a type of compliance testing, making sure this product will stand up against the others.
Right.
The guys they're all real passionate gamers. I mean, they love their Rocket League.
Yeah, we actually played them one
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
I hear the UK studio beat the India studio.
They're actually really good over here, though, to be fair. We've played a couple studios already, and they've just kind of wiped them out.
Really?
Yeah, but I believe that the indie guys held their ground, to be fair. So even with a little
I
bit
let
of
the side down. I when I was over in India, I gave them a battle on Rocket League, having never played it before.
Yeah.
But it looked easy,
Excellent.
and I lost 11-0. But
If there are any Rocket League players out there in the chat that want to challenge our studio, feel free to let us know in the chat.
or our
Twitter,
India studio,
or India studio
who
as well.
now I think would probably give us a better run for our money.
I like the
as
sound
long,
of that.
As
Maybe
long
we
as
need
I'm
to-
not playing.
Okay, all right.
I don't
Maybe
wanna
you can
play.
ref. You can actually commentate as well.
I
if
could
you
definitely
want.
commentate.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'd
All right.
definitely commentate.
Let's set it up then.
I'd
I'm
be
ready
happy
for that.
to do that.
Get ready for that.
Yeah, I'll do that, but I'm not playing.
Yes, and speaking of good Rocket League players, our next programmer that we're going to show, Amit, actually got into the Snake team via a very interesting way, and it's actually something that you see all the time that he's worked on ever since we've started, showing this game off to the public. So if you don't mind playing this
Should we
particular
show
game.
Amit's video?
Huh?
Who are you? What are you doing?
Hello guys, my name is Amit and I'm a programmer here at Sumo Digital, and I've been working with Sumo Digital for past 6 years, and this happens to be my first job, and I'm very excited to work on this
Have
Snake
you really
project.
been here 6 years?
Sorry?
You said 6 years.
Let's start again.
Oh, sorry.
Because I don't remember you being here for 6 years. Let's start again. So how long have you really been here, Amit? Because have you really been here 6 years?
So I've been working at Sumo Digital India for past 6 months, and this is my first job, and I couldn't be more happy about Snake being my first project, and I'm very excited about it.
So you're fresh from university.
Yeah.
So which university did you go to?
I went to the Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee.
Wow, isn't that one of the top universities in India?
Yeah, it comes among the top of universities. There are like 10 to 12 IITs in India, and it happens to be one of them.
So what first attracted you to come and work for Sumo India?
I've always wanted to work in game development industry, and when I went through their portfolio, I saw some real jewels, including LBP and Forza Motorsports, and it really. And then I saw a video of the Snake teaser, and it really intrigued me, and I thought of applying here.
So, Amit, you need to tell us, how did you actually get onto the Snake team? Because there's an interesting story here, isn't there? Because if you remember, you weren't allocated onto the Snake team.
No, I wasn't. It was during my training period.
Yep.
So I was supposed to be working on something, and I was like kind of stuck because the people over there were a little busy. So I had this friend Sebastian, who is the mastermind behind Snake, and we used to talk every evening about Snake. And one day people were all crazy about grass and shadows and stuff. So I went over to Seb and asked if the grass moved when the snake interacted with it, and he said that they didn't have enough time for that. So I thought I would do something towards to implement that thing and put a basic prototype for it.
So am I right in saying, Amit, you did all this in your own time?
Yeah, it was actually...
That's pretty impressive.
Thanks. So I basically came from a background of graphics development. So I didn't have much experience with the actual gameplay, but I used to mess around with polygons and vertices. So I knew exactly where to look, where to go from there. So, and Unreal is really powerful, and it really gives you the freedom of doing anything you want. So yeah, it was a little challenging, but we got there.
Wow, that's really, really impressive. So, am I right in saying it took you a weekend?
Yeah, the basic prototype was done over a weekend, but then we had to spend a few more weeks to polish it.
Is this the first time you've worked with Unreal?
Yeah, it was my first time.
Did you not learn that at university?
No, I did my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering.
Right.
So yeah, they don't teach you this thing.
No. Have you found it easy to pick up, or?
Yeah, it's I had worked with Unity, and I saw a couple of I kept going through tutorials of Unreal, but I never really implemented those things. So yeah, I felt like home with Unreal. It's very powerful and very easy to use.
Is there anything else you want to tell us, Amit?
Yeah, you should definitely try Snake Pass. It's a pretty awesome game.
How do you think this is going to go down in India?
I think, as Krishna said, that people have this connection with Snake from their childhood. I myself remember playing it on my mother's phone. So back then we only used to have these phones, and it had this amazing Snake game, and I think people would relate to it.
Brilliant. Excellent. So you're enjoying your life at Sumo India?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, thank you very much, Amit. I'll let you get back to work.
See you.
Excellent.
And we're back.
Yeah, and we're back. Well, I mean, we were always there on the top.
We were.
Right. Yes.
We were just discussing EastEnders.
Yes, we were actually.
We were.
Yeah. How you are actually
In EastEnders.
Yeah. Did the whole nine. Everything.
Yep,
It was great.
totally.
What episodes can we find you on? What season?
It's back years ago.
I see.
Quite a few years ago.
I see.
Yeah, it's just a walk-on role. It was a new Danny Dyer role. But
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah, it
that
does.
makes sense. So before we actually start talking about Amit again, we have some people in the chat that are down for the Rocket League challenge. So feel free.
I hope they're not challenging me because I'm not playing
No,
anyone at Rocket League.
yeah, he's actually too good.
That is exactly right. I am
the
too
biggest
good at
sandbagger
Rocket League.
ever.
Yeah.
So you don't want to necessarily play him. But if you do feel like challenging us, I'm sure a lot of people in the studio are down for that. So please let us know on Twitter and our Facebook, wherever, and also here too. So we have Crimpy Crayon, who's ready to throw down, fight me too, Scrap. Not me. I'm not a good Rocket League player at all. But I'm just relaying the messages that he has on the screen. And then we also have Version of Apathy. Maybe you can team up with Crimpy Crayon as well. Oh, look, we also have I'm going to I believe Toon Raider. Hello, that is Shauna, a good friend of Sumo Digital, who also used to work with us on Little Big Planet as well.
Right.
So
okay.
hello, how are you doing? And she is going to ask the Coatsink guys to play us, guys. And if you don't know what Coatsink does, they recently released a game called Shu, which is a platformer on multiple platforms. Great game. My girlfriend loves that game, actually. So aside from that, let's go back to Amit, who, aside from being a awesome Rocket League player, is also a very young but veteran programmer of
Let's not
Sumo
call him an
Digital.
awesome Rocket League player. We don't want it to go too much to his head.
But he's been at the company for 6 years.
He has been at the company for 6 years. We employed him when he was very young. I think he got that one slightly wrong.
Yeah.
Luckily, the interviewer corrected him pretty quickly.
Good job.
Yeah,
Good job.
He was on the ball there. He meant 6 months.
Yes.
He's been with the company 6 months. So,
But he's made a bit of a splash considering he's only been around
got
for
a bit
6
of a
months.
reputation for
Yes.
himself already. A
Yeah.
positive reputation.
Yeah.
Not,
So first of all, the reason why a lot of people have commented Snake Pass, the team, about the grass and how it moves, everything like that, how it just kind of, just its reactions to the snake and everything.
Yep.
Guess who was responsible for that? Amit.
that is
Amit was
correct.
responsible for that over a weekend.
Yes.
Give or take.
So Amit was over in the UK. He was
Yeah.
training. We were getting him to look at some Unreal tasks. You can't keep that guy busy though. He's just ripped through his tasks, and then at the end of the day, he wants to keep working. He
Yeah.
wants to keep going. So anyway, he was happened to be sat in the same office with Sebastian.
Yeah.
Used to chat, used to play games with Sebastian, and they formed a bit of a friendship.
Right.
And it was Sebastian. He approached Sebastian and mentioned, is the grass ever going to animate as the snake rolls over?
Yeah.
Sebastian said, "Yeah, we thought about it. We'd like it to happen. It'd be really cool. Not sure we're going to have time." Amit had time because it was over the weekend. So Amit decided he thought he had an idea for this.
Yeah.
And he spent his weekend working on the grass. And the idea behind it is, as the snake moves through the grass,
Yeah.
the vertices of the grass deform based on the collision of the. I'll go into a bit more detail
Yeah.
anyway.
We actually have a video of him.
We do, yeah.
Yes.
When we'll get him to go through it, I can explain it a little bit more, some detail. But yeah, he pretty much went away that weekend, and on Monday morning, Sebastian came back in, and Amit said, "Oh, I've got a bit of a surprise. Do you want to take a look at this?" Well, it didn't take long for that to get around the office, and
Grass.
we have deforming grass. Next on his list was, can we make the foliage deform as well? And it was like, okay, Amit. Yeah, we're just supposed to be training here.
Yeah.
Where's this grass come from? So for me, again, it's like a whole different type of headache. That's a really good headache to have.
Yeah.
So yeah, he went away. He did that all in his spare time, and notably, people were completely blown away by
Yeah.
what he had done.
He was an electrical. Well, he studied as an electrical engineer.
He studied as an electrical engineer,
Yeah.
but he went to one of the top universities
Right.
in India. Played with things like Unity in his spare time. Massive gamer.
Yeah.
Loves his games. Really passionate about Snake. Loves anything to do with Snake. And I think he saw an opportunity and he wanted to be part of the project. And, enthusiasm like that, you can't hold it back in
Right.
somebody, can
Yeah.
you? And you just have to see that and then act straight upon it. And his
Sure.
name was getting mentioned by loads of people in the UK office, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, okay, let's just keep this guy on, feet on the ground, progressing along, and
Yeah.
then we'll move him on. And now he's just, he's doing so well.
Handling business.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I mean, for a
That's
guy
really
to
good.
come out straight out of uni with no experience and to come straight into the gaming world just with he just came with bags of knowledge and bags of talent.
Yeah.
He's he's an absolute joy to manage as well. His communication skills are absolutely spot on.
Excellent.
It's really good to see. So, did you say we've got some footage?
Yeah, we do. I believe.
Do we want to show his footage? What
Yeah.
he chats about? I can go into a bit more detail, but it's always good hearing it direct from him.
Yeah.
So.
So show me this texture then. How's it working?
So the basic idea was we had these grass planes.
Yep.
So what we do in games is we don't actually create the grass mesh. We have these planes which are always camera facing, and we have a texture of grass on it. So what the basic idea was to move those vertices.
Yep. So as the
away
snake
from-
collides, you move the vertices
Away
away.
from the snake.
Oh, okay.
So
Can we see that working?
here it's a really subtle effect,
Yep.
but it adds to the quality of the game. So here you can
Oh
see.
yeah, as the snake collides,
So
the vertices move away.
and they also move away in a smart way. So what the naive approach would be to move the vertices just away from the snake, and that would give effect like an explosion is going on. So everything would move away from the center. But what we wanted to do was we consider the velocity of each sphere that the snake is made of, and we move only the vertices that are that comes in the direction of the velocity of the sphere. So if it's moving like this, then we only want the vertices that are in this radius and this radius to move away. So in that way, it's not going up. It's not going up.
Did you do the wind effect on the grass as well?
No, that's a simple grass animation. So it's a node that comes with Unreal.
Okay.
You can just plug it in and it make it start waving.
Wow, you can definitely see the effect, can't you, as the grass moves away?
The biggest challenge with this was that Unreal doesn't support arrays to shaders. So what that means is that we cannot just pass the information of each sphere to the material itself, because that would be a little less efficient for Unreal. So what we did actually was we created a separate texture and we feeded it with all the information about the sphere and the velocity. And then we would look up the texture in the shader, and we'll compare to a sphere test for each spheres with the vertex. And if it's inside then the sphere, then we'll animate it.
So is that slow to run?
No, so actually everything is being handled by GPU, so it's pretty fast. It can get very, it can decrease the frame rate, but our grass was like, it's not that high polygon, so it works out.
Excellent. Thank you.
And we're back.
And we're back. Very interesting conversation. But yeah, there's a lot of talk about explosions and vertices and everything.
Yeah.
But explain that to me as a programmer. Explain that to me in layman's terms.
Vertex shaders,
Yeah.
GPU. What do you want to know?
The whole.
So let's
shenanigan,
think
yeah.
about it in a simple way.
Yeah.
We have the vertices from the grass.
Yes.
We have the snake rolling around in the grass, which is made up of a load of little spheres.
Yes.
And as the spheres interact or come within a certain distance, we're able to say that snake is hitting those blades of grass. So what we do is really, really simply, the snake moves forward, it has a velocity, we have a collision object on the snake, the collision object says I'm hitting these vertices.
Yeah, which is the sphere. I
Which
believe.
is the
Yeah.
sphere,
Uh-huh.
yeah. It's a big ball. The
Yeah.
ball is rolling. Think of it as one ball.
Yeah.
It rolls through the grass. The ball hits the blade of grass, has a direction, and then the blades of grass bend away. And then as soon as they're not interacting with the blade of grass, they flick back up. He's done it in what we call a vertex shader, which is just something that utilises the GPU, which is very, very fast. You fire it off. Unreal's really good at doing this. Leave it to it. It's fast, it's efficient, and we have grass.
Yes.
And he was all using his idea and that he came up with in a weekend, and it's brilliant to see.
I believe we can kind of show
the effect.
Let's show the effect right here. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I don't know if you could see that. Maybe if we F11 this bad boy. Yeah.
Yep. Just see the grass sort of snapping down, moving down, and it uses the velocity of the snake as well.
Yeah, you can see where it does that right
Yep.
there. Yep. Whoop.
There you go.
It's beautiful.
It just gives an effect.
Yeah, it's a nice little pop.
And that's the key, is getting these effects to work in game.
And the thing is, a lot of this stuff is subtle, right?
Totally.
It's not necessarily, it needs to be in your face in terms of, I guess, believability. But because of its subtlety, and a lot of work is taken into account, you have the wind, which he worked on as well, correct?
Yep.
The wind in the grass, so you can see the blades of the leaves, or excuse me, of the grass going back and forth and everything. It's just, putting that all together makes it that much more of a total package. And obviously a lot of the programming involved is you guys.
Totally. It's just about to give the people at home, when they're playing it, something they feel like it's a cartoony game anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to be able to feel like you're interacting with the environment, and that's the key. I mean, you go up, you interact with the bamboo, and when you watch people play it, it's really easy. There's certain things that you don't notice. I mean, the average player maybe not have even seen the grass, but there's certain people out there who will look for things like that.
Definitely.
Just the interaction with the water and different effects that we as programmers, spend hours trying to get into the game. Most people don't even notice it, because you're too fascinated by the game. But then you've got the right, the game's got the right balance if nobody can see those things.
Yeah,
and they just pick it up and don't want to put the control pad down.
Yeah. You don't want them to notice too much.
Yeah.
If at all.
Yeah.
And that makes a more complete, coherent experience.
I like to think so.
Yeah, and that's kind of similar to when Pat was on, who was our audio director, and he was saying a lot of the sounds that you hear, a lot of the ambient sounds, they're not necessarily meant for you to be like, oh, yes, I hear water rustling in there, but because it's there, you don't have that silence, so it doesn't feel like you're playing in a vacuum. Very similar to what you're doing with the environmental stuff and everything like that too. So, aside from working on with the India team, has there been anything that you've done specifically in game, or is that you as a whole working with all the programmers?
No, me as a whole, I tend to work with all the programmers.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't really get to get my hands dirty anymore. So I just get to overview and look at what they're doing. And again, like I said before, mentoring, and it's code reviews mainly now.
Would you like to play and show your abilities as a snake?
I'd love to show my abilities
Yeah,
as
definitely.
a snake.
Just go ahead and go around. I mean, you've seen this game for so long.
I have seen this.
Yes.
I have seen this
And I'm
game
sure you've
for so
played
long.
it, yeah. Several times, yeah.
I've played it once or twice, yeah. The thing I find with this game is when you watch people play it who have a lot more experience of playing it, make it look a lot easier.
Yeah.
I certainly think so anyway. I think I spend my time trying to climb things I shouldn't be climbing.
And that's totally fine. That's how I like playing the game too.
You watch somebody and they just wrap themselves around this little bit, and you just think, I don't want you to give me a lift. So, you watch someone with a lot more skill and they make that look a lot easier.
Yes.
Whereas me, I tend to go around.
Look at that.
It's not particularly interesting to watch me play it.
No, I don't know. I mean, some people might find a specific skill or a trick that would be very useful to them. I believe the one that you were doing, they call that like the head grind or whatever.
We should look at let's dive into the water.
Yes.
It's very subtle.
So have the programmers in India done anything with the water?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Nothing specifically water-based. So their involvement with that, a lot of that was already done when they came along. There's been some bug fixing that they've done with that. And I think... Thank you very much. It's always...
Appreciate it, Graham.
It's
We have
always
shiny
helpful.
heads, yes, it is.
They haven't done that much involvement with the grass and the water, sorry. It's all grass-based.
Okay. Stick to a particular foliage.
Yeah, I was going to go and see if there's any other foliage that we can go and interact with. But I don't
Got the flowers, not necessarily.
No.
That's really awesome. So how many programmers, in, I guess, give or take, are working on Snake Pass aside from those guys?
So actually in all studios?
Yes.
So in total we have, I'm going to have to count, about 10.
Oh, okay.
About 10 programmers in total. And their roles really are pretty varied. Obviously, bringing a game of this size together
Definitely.
it involves
Yes.
multi-skills.
Yeah, in the time frame as well.
Totally.
Yeah, because
Totally.
we're getting pretty close to release now. So
We are very close
everybody
now.
is kind of ramping down. I know from design, they're very much looking for their bugs and whatnot, and I'm sure it's the
There's
same
a-
thing. Yeah,
certainly
aside
with
from optimizations and everything like
A
that.
lot of
so.
optimizations going on now, a lot of bug fixing going
Yes.
on. We've mentioned compliance testing. We've mentioned, certainly with their bugs.
Yeah.
We've started to move away. Bearing in mind these guys have been on the project for about 6 months now.
Yeah.
We've started to move away from adding features, which you would hope
Yeah.
at this stage of development, and and just concentrating on getting the version out there and getting the game out to the real world.
Yeah.
So,
Into your
obviously,
guys' hands, clearly.
it's there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. These are pretty busy times now for us. But yeah, it's looking like just adding that final level of polish. And this is going to be. I think this is going to be something really special.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. I mean, we've had so many comments about it from the different shows that we've taken it to and whatnot. So it'll be nice to finally get it out there, and just this final stretch that we got going on, and we're all really excited to be done with it in a good sense, so that it's in people's hands to mess around with, because it's as much.
I don't think we'll ever be done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who knows?
We can move on to Monkey Pass.
Yeah, Monkey Pass. If the chat has any ideas of what other kinds of passes we should work on, please feel free to let us know. Of course, again, E for everyone. Please.
Peggy 18, right?
Yeah, no, nothing like that. Nothing like that. But
we could add his fangs in.
Yeah, Snake Pass 2, the Revengeance. Yeah.
So I mean, the guys over in India, they've been doing like
hats.
you said.
We got hats. Please add hats.
Add-ons.
Yes.
Downloadable hats. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
We need to. I mean, we have enough people out there wanting hats.
I mean, in the UK, it's pretty bad if you see a snake, but if you saw a snake in a hat,
Cute.
I don't know if I'd think it was cute or I'd be running.
Yeah. But I'd be like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But what were you going to mention?
Sorry,
Yes.
coming back to it. No, we were looking at some of the other things the guys have been doing. Obviously, there's loads of new features coming out. Epic are releasing constantly.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
a lot of the guys in India have certainly been doing a lot of backporting, taking some of the features from latest releases and putting it into our current version, which is again, and I think it's really good to emphasise that these guys aren't just they are now bug fixing. But they've been at the forefront of development on this, and that's. From a studio-wide point of view, that we've got 3 studios working on this. And the India team is not just somewhere where we farm out, the boring bug fixing. It's like we're all developing.
Yeah.
And even being 5.5 hours ahead of us, they're always online. Whenever you need the guys, they're always online. They give me constant updates of what they're doing. Every day I get an update from each of them. Find out any tasks that they're blocked on or any assistance that they need. And that works really nicely. Of course,
Definitely.
sorry.
Oh, no problem.
You continue playing.
Yeah, I will continue playing. Yeah, go on. Really quick in the chat, we have some ideas actually.
Yeah.
We have Ostrich Pass. I think that would be interesting.
Clearly
said in Australia, or it could be anywhere else. To be fair, somebody said Snake Pass, but it's actually Snake from Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. So it would be him crawling the whole time.
Yep.
Or in a box, perhaps.
We maybe need to look at our grass effect for that.
Yes, indeed. Something to look forward to, I suppose.
Sure, there's some.
All right.
We'd have to talk to developers with that.
Cool. And then we have another question from Rambo and Alone. Are they considering opening up a sandbox map editor, custom design maps for PC players? Now, in our previous stream, when we were talking to Unreal, it's something that we looked at, but currently just due to the time frame and just manpower, we can't necessarily focus too much on it. We really want to get the core gameplay out. Now, things change.
Yeah.
That can definitely be a possibility. So if you really want that, please let us know on all our social media channels.
That'd be pretty cool, though, wouldn't it? User-defined, users creating their own levels.
Yeah, because I mean, when you look at the game itself, it is kind of modular, and a lot of us have worked with Little Big Planet, which has its own, level editor as well. So if you guys maybe want that,
I like that idea. The octopus pass underwater.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
that'd be brilliant.
And then the thing is, instead of you occasionally go in the water, you occasionally go on land for that one.
I'm not sure how octopuses would do on land.
Yeah,
they'd probably be all legs, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
you'd probably want to leg it.
Yeah, definitely. So, as we're, I guess, getting to a close in a way, is there anything else you want us to know about the India studio, perhaps? What were their thoughts?
Their thoughts?
Yeah.
Well,
did they have anything to say for us?
Well, I didn't come back that. No.
Oh,
I'm very no.
yeah, but
they're-
you're
they're-
connected to them.
I did, yeah. Obviously I was over there last week, which was good. Got to play a bit of table tennis with them
Nice.
after work, and kept up the UK table tennis championship.
Ooh.
Beat them.
Nice, good,
Yeah.
good. As you should.
Well,
Represent, yeah.
Although I lost at Rocket League, having never played it, I think
Right.
I put a pretty good performance
you
in
know.
only losing 11-0.
Yeah. First time is okay.
They're just excited. They're just so pleased to be working on a title like this, and it, I think it just looks. It shows how far we've come for the India studio.
Yeah,
to-
definitely.
This, it's our own IP. This
Yeah.
game, and it's awesome. And
It's also very much a love letter to like old 3D platformers too. So
Yeah.
you can kind of see the efforts and care that they've all put into it. I mean, clearly with the grass, other things as
Yeah.
well. And then it's not just design side; it's also the programming side too. Because clearly they need to make these things work for us. So cool. We got another question on board. It says, "Will this have online features?" That's actually something we'll be talking about in later streams. But for now, just keep your eyes peeled out, and we will let you know more about the features of Snake Pass. Okay, we also have another question: customize Snake colors or DLC patterns models. Again, these are all questions for the future, and we don't want to, I guess, reveal too much currently because we have a lot to show still. Believe it or not, we have a lot of Snake Pass coming in the coming month, so please be ready for that. That's probably the best way to put it too.
I think if you want to talk about some of the other work, some of the things that one of the things Amit did was,
Yeah.
We're not going to show it now.
Yeah.
But have a look at when the snake goes in and comes out of the water. Have a look at the effects of the scale.
Oh, the wetness factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
think
again, something
pointed
that
out,
Amit worked on.
That was his. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Excellent. Yeah, because
A
there
lot
was a
of-
nice shimmer. I remember when I was going through some of the water levels, and I was like, oh, that looks fair enough.
Leaderboards, achievements,
The whole nine, yeah.
unlocks, something
Uh-huh.
like that. It's all stuff that the India studios worked on.
Definitely.
So
So
I know I'm focusing a lot on India, but yeah.
yeah. No, that's good. I mean, they're clearly a key
Yep.
element in making this game. So,
Totally.
yes.
They're massive part of the development. so.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Well, first off, thank you for being
No
here.
worries.
Thank you for going over there and
That's
getting
all right.
their thoughts, words, and clearly making
Yep.
them into a solid unit for Snake Pass. So
Yep.
that's always awesome.
Cheers.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
What are these bags?
We have a couple bags
Do you
over
want me
there.
to grab one?
Yes, please do. Please do. So if you've been following us on our Twitter and Facebook, we've actually been running a competition for some things that we grabbed at PSX last year, hasn't it been?
Model in my bag.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And we have one of the prizes here. It's a lovely PlayStation bag.
How can I win this? Because I'd love to win this.
So
bag.
you can win
It's
this.
pretty cool, isn't it?
just check out our Twitter, which is snake_pass, and we actually have all the information there in order for you to enter.
This one
we're
has
still
your
running the
lunch in it as
competition.
well, which
My
is great.
lunch,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, my lunch is pretty good. So if you want,
And it has your donuts in there, so that's pretty
special Dino Gourmet, it's all in here. No, it's not actually, but we do have a Snake Pass shirt, the same one that I'm wearing. I did not wear this, but if you, no, I'm not going to even go there. We have a PlayStation Experience shirt that says, "I was there." You can always lie to your friends, really, when you wear this shirt, but you can, yeah, it says that you were there. And then we also have water bottles. We have some pretty sick shades. We got we have a poster, stickers. We got a lot of stuff. We got some badges as well. Hand sanitizer, which is super important.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes, hygiene, you need to keep up with
We're
that.
number one
Yes.
on hygiene in
Indeed,
this place.
indeed, yes. Health and safety all the way.
Of
Right?
course.
Yes. So,
So how many bags have we got
we
to
have
give away?
We have 3.
And how can we win these? Because I'd love to win one.
Yeah, so we actually have all the competition info on our Twitter page, which is again snake_pass. So check that out. Got a lot of cool stuff over there, and there's a lot of cool stuff in this. So feel free to enter that.
Yep.
It'll be good. It'll be good. So, also a couple other things as well. If you happen to be in the Sheffield area, next week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. we will be at Bungalows and Bears celebrating Game Over's 2nd anniversary. It's kind of like a barcade situation where they have retro gaming tournaments, drinks, the whole nine. It's good times. We've been to several of them last year, and it's actually also the first anniversary of us attending Game Over and showing Snake Pass to the public, where we had it in a
So can
really,
people
really
play
good.
it there?
Yes,
That sounds good.
Yeah,
with beer.
if they want, Coke
And soft
beer,
drinks are
soft drinks,
also
the whole
available, of
whatever
course.
you want. You can actually find that information on our Twitter and our Facebook as well. Our Facebook is Snake Pass Game.
Sounds
So
good.
check that out. And if not, whatever, that's
Yep.
fine. I totally get you. But yeah, if you haven't played the game yet or want to play a newer version of the game, please check us out there. And that is at Bungalows and Bears next week's Wednesday in Sheffield at 7 p.m. You can find all the information on our Twitter, which is snake _pass.
Underscore.
Underscore
Don't forget
pass.
that.
Thank you. Emphasis on the underscore. And then we also have ourselves on our Facebook, which is Snake Pass Game. And we also have a website too, which is snake-pass.com. You can also find us on our Steam page as well, because we are going to be releasing on Steam Xbox One and PlayStation 4. But if you have Steam, you can always find us on our Steam page. Add us to your wish list. It lets us know that you want the game. There's interest in the game, and it's always nice to have that interest. Where's he going? No! I've never actually seen him just
Oh, he
fall
does.
down like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
he does.
He's just like, whatever. And we've actually added the voices, too, that we've... We actually had a voice acting stream, I think maybe 2 streams ago, where we recorded, I think it's Tom Clark Hill, who happened to be Tony the Tiger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the voice of Tony the Tiger. And
They're great.
Yes. Every single time. Every single time. So yes, we have shout-outs to Game Over. Indeed, shout-outs to Game Over. They are an awesome crew. Shout-outs to Luke, Connell, all those guys over there. Happy second anniversary when we get to that.
Happy second anniversary.
Indeed, indeed. So, and we'll be giving stuff away there too. So if you can, please come over to the Game Over event next week at Bungalows and Bears at 7 p.m. But for us, we will be back once again.
I won't.
Well, if you want to be.
Maybe.
This is an open couch.
Yeah.
Feel free to
Yeah,
jump in
it
whenever
is.
you want to. It's been a pleasure having you. But we will
Thank
be
you.
back next Thursday, same time, same place, 5 p.m. GMT. We go. Oh, from India. We have somebody from India looking
Wow.
forward to this. Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
I don't. Hopefully, you were watching the entire stream. But yeah, this whole thing has been dedicated to Sumo India, and they've clearly put in some awesome work. I mean, we're looking at the grass. You can look at the shimmer on his, if we can get there, on his scales.
Scales popping
Yeah,
up.
look at that. Nice. Oh, there it is. Look who's talking to you over there on the chat.
Oh, nice.
Yes, there you go.
Good.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, some
So,
of the Indian
yeah.
stuff. Brilliant.
Yeah, love from India all the way
And it's
here.
late over there as well.
Oh, it is very late. So thank you for staying up, guys. It's been really, really awesome.
Unfortunately, they lost the cricket today.
Oh, no.
So I'd just like to say thanks
Just
for
point that
watching
out.
India, and we won the T20. So that's England versus
Commiserations.
India in India. But thanks for watching, guys.
It's always good to end on a high note, I suppose.
It is
so,
because
yeah.
I had to endure a week of watching them party and
Oh,
celebrate their
man.
#1 cricket team in the world, which we just beaten them. So that's good. What a great way to end.
Yes, indeed.
It is.
And if you want to play us on Rocket League, feel free to let us know as well on our Twitter
Yeah.
and Facebook. So, from the rest of us here, from the rest of the Snake Pass team, from
Good
Dan,
night.
good night,
Goodbye
good
from me,
luck.
goodbye from him.
Good, wait,
And it's good night from me, and it's
Good
good
night.
night from him.
Yes. Take care, everybody. See you soon. Mwah.